Hello world, my name is Chromaray and welcome to Tiny Bunny. We've only played one graphic novel type game once before on this, but I think it would be a great idea to play another one because I really enjoyed Kill or Love. If you don't know what that is, you can find out by just searching it up. I'm sure there are a lot of Let's Plays of Kill or Love. I'm pretty sure this is a graphic novel. It might have a few more mechanics. I can see my screen is going off, or my mouse is going off screen. I don't want that to happen. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song, weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneering, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Something was running through snow, while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen lots in its days, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There is nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was my imagination. I was only 12 after all. Still. So, we're 12. Hey, there's a fox! Or a raccoon in the trees. Oh, it's so beautiful. Someone had to draw all of this. I'm sure they like doing it, but it looks so nice and detailed. Hey, put away your art book. What kind of voice should we get her? Hey, put away your art book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look how slouched you are. Slouched. Got the boy with the glasses, his sister who has food on her face for whatever reason. Hide. I'm hiding the book. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. Man of culture, I see. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olya had already finished her breakfast, that's her I'm guessing, and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder and lumpy the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Kostayu Odyssey? I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Or how the black of the forest, or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand because I was wondering too much. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath. Are we Annan? Before battling the nasty porridge again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this? Carved on the other side of the table. Karina? Huh, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. Sure, she was a rascal. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No. She's in a bit of a bad mood lately. Oh, you probably should have told her about it. I'm sure it was something important that'll come into play at some point. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagined my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're in a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night. What? And without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her own funeral. She had already bought a casket. Oh, is Grandma preparing to turn into a ghost? And she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. Or maybe she knew she was gonna die by something. It was black upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house hadn't changed since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies, and I was looking at my share like a sly little woodland creature. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. A fox, whatever that is. Olya, look, it's a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of the student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision just a little bit and look under a certain angle. Not outside, out the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up. Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, we don't have much time. Ah, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you it does. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. It went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. Oh, there's the father. The ones that... So obviously these parents don't really like each other, judging by what the kid was saying. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off. It stings." Oh wait, maybe this isn't who the kid was talking about. The kid was talking about like fighting voices at night or something. This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors with witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Oh, Olya always covered her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point of all this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply. "For the sake of our family." I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with D. The dead? Divid. I don't even want to finish it. What word was that? Divid. It was scary. Oh, his eyes are moving. I swear his eyes just moved downwards. I don't know if I'm just thinking, oops. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Have anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still... Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket, along with the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a Marchu. I'm not sure if that's how you spell martyr, out of yourself and finish eating already. And the owl? There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Olia sprung up from the chair. She placed her hand on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes, the size of an apple, each with her fingers. Last year you had Bob Eye in your closet, and now this owl. But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but I couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's so little. Olia pouted. This music is getting very intense. It sounds like Kingdom Hearts battle music. If you've ever played Kingdom Hearts, it's very like beautiful, symphonic, intense music, and then it cuts to not intense while you're not battling. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Olia pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on incredibly worn-out cassette tape on Ace, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects, just by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Mom moved out to the living room, and I was alone, anxiously stealing glances out the window. Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved into this house. She would toss and turn, or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Is this like Poltergeist? Cartoons helped her take her mind off of all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Oh, that's the owl she was talking about. That doesn't look anything like the owl or the fox we saw. And then Olia said she saw the giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I wasn't sure what to think of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep. I ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. This music's getting pretty intense compared to the last even. Circular holes gaped through the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares filled me with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Stomp me on with their bloodied shoes? The damp school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen to it. It doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to get there that much. I didn't want to see new people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me, think of a new offensive name, worse than the previous ones. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider, or some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Alia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine my mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton is not around. Anton is not around." I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, this boy thinks so much about this school. My dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married with the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with a neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though, can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs and under the stairs. There's like creaking noises now. The music changes depending on the text you're reading. That's so cool. It's like four-dimensional. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased families with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in front of my drawing. The floor was squeaking. Rusty drains were moaning. The attic was occupied by noisy drafts. That was like explorative, wondering music of like a magical world. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody, or that, and then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Well... I just want to sit here and listen to the music all day, and I also want to finish the next place as much as I want to. But as much as I want to, I have to go soon. So thank you for watching. This music is amazing. And we'll meet again in the next contingency.